Flosstube. It is Monday, May 8th. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I just got home from work. And I am here with a Stitch Maynia update for the first week of that. It has been a very crazy first week, and I'm not even talking about the cross stitch. Let me just talk for a minute. So Thursday, I was getting ready for work, and it was about 6:30 in the morning, and I got a call from my mom, which is never good at that early in the morning. And she was just in hysterics almost. And it turns out that my sister, I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and so the second one of us, so my first sister, was being taken to the emergency room with a possible stroke, and she's only 33, and so I'm like, what? And it turns out that she actually suffered a minor stroke. It was what they had determined was caused by a hemiplegic migraine. Sorry for the Dalmatian in the background. She's been kenneled up all day. So it was caused by a very severe migraine due to stress. And she, like, it was so serious, we almost lost her. My mom said that when the paramedics got there, her blood pressure was like 40/32. She couldn't vomit because she was having some paralysis. Her speech was so slurred, she couldn't really get anything out. She just looked very glazed over. It was really serious. So they got her to the hospital, got her stable, and while they were running tests and kind of getting her admitted, she had another little episode where she said her arm had gone numb, and she was getting that aura and the headache that comes with the migraines. And then that night, the first night in the hospital, her blood pressure not really bottomed out, but her blood pressure dropped again, and so they had to get her back up. And so that they ran some more tests. They tested her heart to see if that correlated with anything, but it turns out it was just a very severe migraine that had indeed caused a stroke. And so my family was dealing with that on Thursday and someone on Friday, and so I had left work actually early on Thursday to go over to the hospital to see her. And I was coming from Arlington, so I had to take the interstate over to Fort Worth, and it was probably about a 20-minute drive. And I missed my exit. I was like, all right, whatever. So I went down to the next exit, and it loops under the freeway, and I was gonna take a left onto the street that was gonna take me back to the hospital. And traffic was kind of backed up, but people were leaving a gap for the left turn yields to go through. So I was following someone through the intersection. Well, in one of the lanes, a car came driving up very quickly and wasn't going to leave a gap for people to turn through. He was going to block the intersection. And so this happened right as I'm turning through. So I swerved to avoid him and ended up banging up on the curb, and I blew my driver's side front tire. So I'm on the side of this ramp that's going up to the street that I need to be on, and it's not a good place to be. And so I called my father, and it's not that I can't change a tire by myself, but I was in an awkward position. And so I called my dad, and it took him like 20 minutes to get to me. So he got there, and we figured out that my Volvo SUV that I drive, which I bought used, was sold to me with no jack or spare tire tools. Has a spare tire, but nothing to like get me to the point of being able to change it. So we're standing there and we're thinking, and my dad's like, oh, well, let's go get your mom's tools, because my mom drives a Volvo wagon, and surely they would have to work. So we get in his car, we drive to the hospital, get our tools, drive back to my car. We get my car kind of jacked up, and we're missing the tool that lowers the spare tire. Okay, so like the tire sits up into the car, and there's a hook that slips into this little, it's like a screw kind of thing, and you twist it and it lets the chain down for the tire. So I'm having to like jimmy this thing out with like a socket wrench bar kind of thing. Like, it took forever, and it was 90 million degrees outside. So we finally get it down, and we get the ruined tire off, and we go to put the spare on, and we realize that a jack for a Volvo wagon is not tall enough for a Volvo SUV. So at that point, I have no other choice but to call a tow truck. So I call the tow truck. It takes him 30 minutes to get there. He gets the front of my car lifted up to put it onto the bed. And he's like, you know, I don't do this really often, but why don't I just change the tire for you? Just put the spare on. I'll just charge you, you know, this amount of money, which wasn't that bad. And then I'll follow you over to the nearest tire place. I'm like, deal, done, sold. At this point, like, I just don't care anymore. So we get the spare on, and of course the spare has like this ridiculously low tire pressure. So now I have to get my car over to the tire shop, and we're going to Discount Tire. So I'm driving like no more than 30 miles an hour on this thing, so it takes a while. We pull into Discount Tire at 6:30 in the evening. Yeah, they close at 6. So I'm like, okay, there's a Goodyear on the other side of the street. So we go to the Goodyear. They're open till 7, but the only 2 tires they have, because I was going to buy 2. Can't just replace 1 tire. I was going to buy 2. The only 2 tires they had available for my car were the top of the line. And they weren't going to get any more in until the next day. I'm like, of course. Of course. I don't know what I have done to piss the world off, but of course. So I said, you know what? If you'll just put some air in the spare tire for me, I'm just going to take this back down to Mansfield, and I'll deal with it tomorrow. So that's what I did. They aired up my spare, and I made what ended up being 45-minute drive back to my house. And then the next day, I still couldn't go to the hospital because I had to go buy 2 new tires. So I had to get that done. I finally made it over to see my sister Friday evening about 8 o'clock. So that was an ordeal. Got through the weekend, no issues. Monday morning rolls around, drop my son off at preschool, heading up to drop my girls off where they go to school. And I'm stopped behind a pickup truck, and there's a Mercedes stopped behind me, which I didn't even know because I didn't look in my rear view. We were stopped at a light, and I was, you know, trying to change a song on the radio or something for the kids. We're stopped at a light, and wham! A pickup truck plowed into the back of the Mercedes, who plowed into the back of me, who pushed me into the back of the pickup truck that I was behind. So my back has been very sore today. I'm hoping that it goes away on its own. I really don't want to have to go see somebody and make it even more complicated. Yeah, the past few days have just not been very kind to me. So I'm really sorry that I didn't get this done and uploaded over the weekend, but life just happened. So Thursday and Friday, because I didn't get to stitch, those 2 projects I made up on Saturday. So I had 2 new starts on Saturday, and then I continued on with my plan that was a whip weekend. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I have so far for Maynia. Excuse me, and I've got a horrible cough from allergies. Okay, so May 1st was Feather Fairy by Mirabilia. So that's what she looks like. And I maybe put in, I don't know, 50 stitches or so. So the first color right in the center of the pattern is of course a blend. I'm sorry for the wrinkles, but that's what I put in so far. This is 32 count Belfast linen from Picture This Plus in the color Haunted. Okay, so there is Feather Fairy. May 2nd, I was super excited about this one. May 2nd is Steam Heart from Heaven and Earth Designs, excuse me. And I don't have my iPad with me, and I'm not going to get up and go get it. There's a picture of it. I'll insert a picture of it up here. But I got the first little 10 by 10 block done on that one. So someone asked in my last video on my Heaven and Earth Designs, do I start in the top left corner and work my way over, or do I start somewhere else? I have two that I have started in the top left corner and I'm working my way over. The first one one of them is a stitch in time, and then this one. My other Heaven and Earth design, I started the same way, except I decided to restart it because I didn't like how the thread count was working out with it. So when I restarted it, I decided to start in the middle to kind of avoid the boredom. But anyway, here's the very first 10 by 10 block for Steam Heart. Oh, and this is 25 count antique white Lugana, and it's being done 1/1. Okay, so Wednesday, May 3rd, was Whip Wednesday, and I was working on Victorian Dollhouse by Joan Elliott. And I didn't get a lot done, but I got something, which is the point of all of this. So what I worked on was these little stitches right in here. So this is a bedroom, and there's a little bookshelf that's mounted up on the wall, and there's a box and a little framed picture of something, and then another box. So I got those two at least started. So this is 32 count linen. I don't know who it's from. I bought it at my local needlework store, so I couldn't really give you any information on it, but it seems to be like a raw linen. So anyway, there's that. Thursday, I started Chatelain's Mini Mandala 2 because I have done 1 and I have done 3. So now it's time for 2. I'll insert a picture of what that looks like up here. And I got the very center done. And now that I'm looking at this, I don't even know which way. No, wait. I can tell by the way my crosses go. Okay. So this is the correct orientation. So very, very center. It's already so pretty. Martina's combinations of colors are just always spot on. Okay, May 5th, which was Friday, was a new start, and I started, well, no, the Mini Mandala and the Santa I started on Saturday, but this was supposed to be for Friday. So I started the Ireland Santa by Mill Hill. It's in the Celtic Santas collection. And I got a little bit of his tunic done. So there's the gray, the plaid. You can see the plaid is kind of outlined there with the gray. Got that finished. Well, not finished. I got that started. And then Saturday, after I got those two things going, I got to work on excuse me, things that go bump. This is a design by Elizabeth Spurlock, and it is from the Halloween, Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue 2014. So here's the design. Last time you saw it, all I had were the bats in their little box. And now I've got from Ghoulies and the beginning of Ghosties. This is 28 count white Lugana. I ordered it from 123 Stitch. And while I've got this one out, there's a new start coming up on May 30th that I had said in my Maynia plans video that I didn't have a piece of fabric for. And what I'm going to do, because this only takes up half this fabric, I'm going to use the other half for that new start. So I'll have something over here as well. So that worked out really well, actually. Oh, I don't have to buy another piece of fabric. Thank goodness, because with everything going on, I just kind of want to save money. Anyway, okay. So that was first week of Maynia. Today, the 8th, I start Angel of Summer by Lavender and Lace. Tomorrow, I've got Heaven and Earth Design freebie, Ice Princess. So that should be what I'm doing the next 2 days. So, yeah, let's hope that next week is a little bit more tame than this past week was. Let's hope this week is a little bit more tame than last week. Whatever. I'm tired, y'all. I'm so freaking tired today. And I've got to go out and rinse off my vehicle because I have got Mercedes fluid all over it, and it's nasty and gross, and I can't even touch it without my fingers getting greasy, and it's disgusting. So I'm gonna go do that, hopefully before my husband gets home with the kids. Anyway, yeah, when it rains it pours. But you know what? Not only did I get yarn in the mail today, but I get to start a new cross stitch. So that's what I'm going to focus on this evening while I have an ice pack on my back. Anyway, I hope you guys' Maynia is going really well. I'm actually super stoked to see that I inspired several of you to start all the things, which I think there needs to be, if y'all post your stuff on Instagram, we should hashtag start all the things, because that would be really awesome. I'm gonna start doing that. Hashtag start all the things. Okay, so hope your Maynia is going well. I'm gonna stop rambling. I feel like that's always how I sign off, is rambling. I'm gonna go wash the car. Possibly have to take a shower because it's hot outside. And then I'm gonna start Angel of Summer.